Hello, welcome to libp2p. This is the last of the calls today, where we discuss libp2p, mostly from the JavaScript side. The lead today is Why Are You Sleeping? Nope, David Diaz. Wow. And note taker is going to be me. Great. I will take.
Thank you, Richard.
There's a Notepad link I dropped in IRC, and David Diaz, take it away.
Yeah, sure.
Just kind of chill and watch.
Just chill and watch, but you have to listen.
I don't have to listen. I don't have to listen.
Because you're the first item is on you.
Oh, is it with me?
Yeah. Okay, I'll just take this.
Thank you, Richard. Cool. So you don't see him, but he's here, Jeremy.
Is your video turned off?
Yeah, because my machine is just like melting with the video on.
Oh, weird.
And like it freezes everything, and then no one can like hear. So Jeremy's here, and like so Jennifer today, very similar. Like so, update today is very similar to just IPFS. We've been mostly working on getting the interop. So getting interop with just IPFS means getting interop between peer-to-peers, which means the SecIO thing that's missing. So that, if you attended the JS IPFS call, you already know. If you haven't, you can see then the video and the notes afterwards. So yeah, the other thing that has been happening, mostly on the Go with peer-to-peer land, is getting out the DHT package. Want to give an update on that, Jeremy?
Yeah, we've been working on extracting the DHT package.
To peer-to-peer, and someone is working on that?
Yeah, I haven't been working on that. That's been somebody named George. He's been hanging out and doing a cool job doing stuff with GX, and yeah, we're getting really close to having it done.
What will that enable? What was that a priority?
That was just something he wanted to do. Just came out of the woodworks and said, hey, this is a thing I want to do. So started working on that, and it's definitely like something we want. So it's really nice to have. It'll make development on the DHT and testing easier. It'll also make the IPNS publish tool. It'll make it easy for us to, make that build consistently. So it won't have to depend on Go IPFS. It'll be able to depend on just the packages it needs through GX.
Okay. Does that mean that we are going to get, like, does that include IPRS and supporting IPRS records on DHT?
No. It's just, we're just extracting the DHT code that's there.
Okay.
It doesn't change anything.
Okay. Cool. Any questions on this? Anyone? Everyone? All right.
Yeah, what's the name of the package that's being, what's the repo is being extracted after?
Oh, Go libp2p DHT cat or something along those lines.
Could you find it and drop it in the notes?
Sure.
Thanks.
All right. So, yeah, those are the two things. Again, like short meeting, everyone is pretty focused on stuff so that we ship some things instead of spending energy in a bunch and just dragging them. We should have the interop things finished today or tomorrow, depending if we can nail down and I can identify precisely what is the error that we are getting. And from that, other things will happen. Yeah, short update today.
What other things?
Other things. So like getting the interop finished. Well, my computer just is a DJ now.
Are you like shooting at you
Is it
or
like
a helicopter?
tap rat, like a tap dancing rabbit or something.
I don't know. Dropping the beat.
What other things, David?
So getting the interop done will mean that like we'll merge all of the freaking pull requests for pull streams finally, and we will release that, and we'll get to merge the pull requests for pull streams on JS IPFS. The other thing that will start happening once that's done is getting the dump version of PubSub. We talked about it during the weekend. We can make like a very simple PubSub implementation that doesn't care about tree forming, but does offer the semantics that people are looking for, so that like Orbit can start like use PubSub and like not have to rely on Redis. Right now, the only centralized component that Orbit has to use is really Redis, and that's because of the PubSub, and that's because there is no PubSub API nor semantics implemented. But if we do a PubSub that's like floating the network, very much like what libp2p does, we can get that done, and we can like make the Orbit more nice. And like if anyone else wants to build apps like Orbit, they don't have to deploy a Redis server in order for the CRDTs to work. So yeah, that's the thing that will come once the interop is done.
It sounds like you have a good idea of what that basic PubSub API will look like. Yeah. Do you have a spec written out for that?
We don't have a spec for the PubSub API. We don't have a very good idea. We have a very good intuition, which is what will come in the code. But we don't. Essentially, we want to get to try with that before entering in full bike sharing mode. And it's going to be more like implement the first version. Again, it's going to be a dumb PubSub. Dumb PubSub means it's not going to be a PubSub that scales like to thousands or millions of nodes, because it's just going to flood the network. It's going to be very expensive in bandwidth, but it's going to offer the API calls that are required for it to work. Let's implement that first and see all the other endeavors around PubSub, namely the literature review, the architecture design. Nicola is also coming from vacation soon, which means like someone will have more capacity to tackle the part of literature review and interface design. And also Gavin has been working on the PubSub testnet. He already can like spawn thousands of nodes, and he's improving that code base. So yeah, like there is these three things being developed in parallel, and we are now more focused on getting it done and ready, and like being able to tinker with it, than going into the rabbit hole of backchecking an interface without testing it first. That's pretty much it. So
cool. Yeah, I didn't mean like a whole freaking spec, like, you know, RFC compatible. I meant just like an issue where we can maybe help. But if you think it's going to be easier if we don't discuss that stuff and you just go ahead and do it, and then we can talk about it later.
Yeah, like
sounds awesome.
Yeah, so I can also do that for people who like to follow. Definitely sounds a good idea. We are just like trying to use our time very efficiently, like specifically these couple of weeks.
No, do that.
Yeah, so that's more my concern.
Anything else we can help out with?
Anything else? What?
Anything else we can help out with?
So there is like one of the pull requests on pull streams has some notes about using pull streams, and like if you could review that part in the README, because it's basically like a couple of paragraphs we added explaining why we are using pull streams, pointing it to the pull streams discussion, and explaining how people can convert a pull stream to a Node.js stream, so they don't feel that they have to learn pull streams in order to use them. To use those modules. If you could like review, it's on the JS libp2p TCP, because we are going to copy paste that note to all the other modules.
Cool.
So-
if you need me to do anything, assign me to it. That sounds great. I'm happy to do that.
Sweet,
I
thank
meant
you.
like in general. Is there anything anyone else can help out with? People who may be watching this call. We have 2 viewers, for instance.
Well, not specifically. A lot of the things that are being done, people are already like on top of it, and yeah, there is always like if you go to the Captain Wall or the Waffle Board or check the help wanted issues, there is always a bunch of stuff that people can tackle. Those are open, and again, like we are always trying to make sure that they are documented and they explain what needs to be done. So if anyone that wants to help on just IPFS and liquidity in general has that very open door for this like SecIO problem and PubSub. It's not as easy to rail someone else in. So let's first get something working, and then people can like use it and tinker with it and improve it.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Cool.
Anyone else have any questions or anything? Sweet. I guess that's it for this call. Thanks a lot, David. Thank you, Jeremy, and Dig, and Emily, and Matt.
Thank you all.
I think that's the last of the calls today. So go forth, be fruitful, and multiply code.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.